There is a new threat from China, a new border provocation. This time it is on the Sikkim border in northeast India. There's another Chinese military buildup. We have fresh satellite images from a Chinese airfield in Shigatse. It is Tibet's second largest city, less than 150 kilometers from the Sikkim border. Now look carefully. Can you see those planes? These are Chinese J-20 stealth fighters. They're China's most advanced fighter jets, the J-20s, better known as the Mighty Dragon. These are fifth-generation warplanes. And why is that significant? Because India does not have any fifth-generation fighter. So technologically, these planes are the most advanced. On paper, at least, they give China air superiority over India. Here is what the J-20 fighter jet can do. It can carry China's most advanced missiles. It can strike targets up to 300 kilometers away. However, its biggest advantage is its stealth capability. This plane can avoid radar detection. Experts say China is only the third country in the world with stealth fighters. The other two are the US and Russia. They have planes with similar technology. The Indian Air Force does not have a fifth-generation fighter. The new Rafale fleet comes the closest to what we have. It is a 4.5 generation fighter. So China is part of a unique club, and it is leveraging this advantage on the border with India. The PLA has more firepower deployed near Sikkim. There are other fighter planes like the J-10 warplane. There's also an early warning and control aircraft. And this deployment is large enough to spark concerns in New Delhi. These satellite pictures are also recent. They were clicked just 4 days back on the 27th of May. Some observers say that China could have deployed ground crew and support equipment at this base. Now, these are all worrying developments. It effectively means that China has opened a third front on the border with India. It began with eastern Ladakh in 2020. China is yet to pull back troops from there, from eastern Ladakh. Over the past year, Beijing has stepped up pressure on India in Arunachal Pradesh as well. Again, this is an Indian state in the northeast. China claims the whole of Arunachal Pradesh. They call it South Tibet.
The southern Tibet region is Chinese territory, and the Chinese government has never recognized and firmly opposes the so-called Arunachal Pradesh illegally established by India. The China-India border issue remains unresolved, and India has no right to unilaterally develop the Chinese southern Tibet region.
And now we have Chinese fighter jets near Sikkim. This will hardly stabilize the border situation. In fact, it makes the border threat from China wider and permanent because the Chinese forces are clearly digging in. They're establishing a lasting presence along the entire length of the India-China border. The PLA has been working on this for a while. It has been focusing on building up military assets in two regions, Tibet and Xinjiang. Both share a border with India, Tibet and Xinjiang. In 2017, China launched a major infrastructure drive. It covered 37 locations in all. Beijing started building more airports and helipads in these locations. Where there were existing facilities, the PLA ordered upgrades. Reports say the pace of this construction picked up after 2020, the year when Indian and Chinese troops clashed in Ladakh. And now there could be more potential flashpoints. India's priority is to resist Chinese expansionism. New Delhi is working on two fronts here. First is border infrastructure. India is building more roads, highways and tunnels to improve the accessibility of these border areas for Indian troops. In the last 3 years, India has covered a lot of ground. A total of 330 infrastructure projects have been completed on the Indian side. So that is one priority, building infrastructure. The second priority is building up military deterrence. Beyond deploying more troops, India is upgrading its military infrastructure. It is fortifying air bases with hardened shelters. It is expanding air defenses. Last year, India completed the deployment of the S-400 air defense system. Now, this is a Russian-made surface-to-air missile defense system. India has 3 of these systems, the S-400, and they have been deployed along the borders with China and Pakistan. So, India is not defenseless against China's military aggression, but it must be on guard at all times against its hostile northern neighbor.
South Africa's May 29th elections. start of change in the country.
We are on the verge of history.
I am standing here at the forefront of change where voices echo the call for action.
The nation grapples with an unemployment crisis. As South Africans prepare to cast their votes, the question looms, will the winds of change usher in a new era, or will the legacy of the past maintain its grip on the future?